We have received another email from the man claiming that he knows who the kidnappers are in the Nancy Guthrie case, and he has given more detail than ever as to what information he will provide in return for 1 Bitcoin.
So TMZ has disclosed today that they got another note, okay? Another note from this person who claims they have a video of Nancy Guthrie with the main kidnapper on her last day of being alive. And a lot of us are wondering if this is real, if it's not real. Guys, I think this person is fake. I think whoever's doing this is fake. And I'm going to tell you why, because I kind of have experience with this. Stay tuned, Fugitive TV. Welcome to Fugitive TV. I am your host, Ray Marcel, and what we do here is we take a look at true crime cases, mostly missing individuals, or any cases that involves a different type of look, even catching other fugitives, because I can give you a different perspective that a lot of people can't. See, I was once a fugitive on the run from the law myself. I lived in different countries under different names, eventually turned myself in. And now what I do is I have this YouTube channel. I'm a motivational speaker, and I use the knowledge, experience, even the connections in the underworld to help you give you guys a different point of view and looking at things in a different way. Okay, well, Nancy Guthrie, we all know who she is, right? And we all know what's going on with her, especially if you click the video. TMZ, we all know, has been getting ransom notes, all kind of notes. They've been getting notes left and right, okay? Now, a lot of people, there's a lot of questions. I see them in lives. I see people answering these on my videos. So some of these questions I'm going to answer for you. Some of these people are wondering how these emails that they're sending, how they can't trace them. Well, if you stay tuned, I'm going to show you exactly how these emails cannot be traced, just like I'm going to show you how an email can be traced. I showed you guys a little bit before of the Bitcoin and how you can trace a Bitcoin and how you can't trace a Bitcoin. So the person who's sending this, they know a little bit about something, but they don't know a little bit about everything. And because of that, I have reason to believe that whoever's sending this or writing this is fake, you guys. They're not real. This is fake. The more they talk, the more they send notes and letters, the more I'm realizing that these people don't know what they're talking about. All right. Well, I'm going to break it down to you. Okay. And when I break it down to you, I'm going to give it to you really simple, really plain. I'm going to try to explain it as in like if we were in 7th grade. Okay. Instead of giving you high technical metadata terms and stuff like that, I'm going to break it down real easy for you.
From the same guy.
From the same guy. And we always can authenticate it's the same guy because he's using the Bitcoin address, the same Bitcoin address, which we've never, ever published anywhere.
Number one, he says that I am not the idiot who recently called in a tip about her burial site in Mexico. Only 2 are directly involved, and I doubt they would be the ones calling to snitch on themselves. So we now know there are 2 if he's to be believed at all, and believe me, we're going to get into that.
Now, the reason why I know some of this, because I did some of this when I was on the run, okay? Now, I'm going to give you an example. Most people, when they get in trouble with the law, and let's say they're a fugitive, whatever it is, do you know what they do? They pay attention to the news. They pay attention to media. They go online. The reason why is you want to see if they're searching for you. You want to see if there's a wanted poster out for you. You want to see whatever you can see that is about you, okay? Because if you could see they're looking for you, or if they're talking about you or whatever it is, then you're like, oh, they're looking for me. They're looking for me, then, oh, let me try and figure out my next move, okay? But here's the thing. This is how a lot of people get caught. You don't just go online searching for yourself. All right, so you go online, you go to a friend's house, whatever it is. You start Googling your name. Now, depending on how high profile you are, as soon as you put your name in Google, guess what? That IP address is red flagged. because they're red flagging your name. They're red flagging maybe even what you did. So if you went to Facebook, you're talking in Facebook Messenger, people. Just because you're talking in Facebook Messenger does not mean it's private. The same thing with Instagram Messenger. You could be talking in Facebook Messenger under a new account. And depending on how high you are or your case is, how high the profile is, especially if you have FBI, CIA, and all this stuff looking for you, if you put in any information in that messenger like, hey, this is John Ricky, but you have this warrant out for your arrest because you're FBI's top 5 most wanted or something like that, it's flagged. What's the IP address that this messenger, and who are they talking to in the messenger? So not only are they paying you a visit and knocking on your door, they're knocking on other person's door too, who's talking to you, because they want to see if the person you're talking to is in on it or do they know exactly who you are. Then that person's going to get flipped. They're going to tell on you, and now your good is gone caught. All right. So you don't just go searching on the internet and things like that. Now, no matter how much I say this, people are dumb and they're still going to do it. So you don't have to worry about that. I told you, I'm a motivational speaker. I'll speak sometimes in a room with maybe like 500 people. And the sad part about it is I know out of the room of 500 people, you're going to get probably half of those who are actually listening to you, not just hearing, but actually listening to you. You're probably going to get a third of those who are going to apply what you're saying, as in maybe take some notes and stuff like that. Then maybe you might get 10 to 15 people out of those 500 that actually move forward with what you say. So they listen, they heard you, listened, understood, applied it. Now they're putting action to what you say and they're using it in their everyday lives. It's just the nature of the beast. It's what happens. Hey, I see it all the time. All right. So you don't just go looking for your name. You don't just, things like that, people. That's how you get caught. So a lot of criminals who know this, what they'll do is they'll look for their name, but they'll look for their name anonymously. All right. They'll go to different places. They'll try their best to hide their IP address. They'll use VPNs, which I'm going to explain. And they'll go to places that are really not public, that don't have cameras, because I'm going to explain that too, all right? All right, so let me read to you real quickly of what this person is claiming in the note, all right? And then what I'm going to do is break down to you what this person is saying so you can understand it a little better. And not only that, expose what they are saying. Because I told you in the beginning of this video, the more they talk, the more I realize this person really does not know what they're doing. Not a lot at all, okay? They know a little bit. This person does not know a lot. So this right here says the anonymous sender refused to send a screenshot to TMZ because they claimed the image's embedded metadata could expose their identity and lead to retaliation. Now, if you guys don't know, there was a note sent the other day to TMZ. The note was saying, hey, we have video of Nancy Guthrie of the main kidnapper, and I have the video on this phone. The phone is in a secure location. If you know where to look, the phone is turned off. And for 1 Bitcoin, I would give you the location of the phone and I would give you the password. First of all, let's stop right there, guys. I was skeptical with that part alone. I will give you the location of the phone and I will give you the password. Folks, do you think we really need a password to open to somebody's phone? I'm me. I don't need a password to get into your phone. I'm going to let you know that now. So I know if I don't need a password to get into your phone, FBI doesn't need a password to get into your phone. All right? CIA doesn't need a password to get into the phone. So as soon as I heard Bitcoin and I'm going to give you the password, I was like, the password means nothing. It literally means nothing. Okay. Yes, it might take you an extra 5 or 10 minutes to open the phone up, but you're going to open it up and you're going to get into it, even if you don't have the password. So that right there, I was a little skeptical on, as in like, this guy should know. You should know you don't need to give a password. So that bribe right there, like I will give you the password, that wasn't a good bribe. That's one. So then after that, Harvey goes on to tell the guy, hey, I'll tell you what we'll do. we'll pay the Bitcoin, but in return, we want you to send us a screenshot or something, some sort of proof that shows what you have. Hey, that is a great idea, folks. Great idea. I see people trying to put together enough money to figure out how to buy Bitcoin. It's crazy. I'm going to tell you guys right now, don't do it. Don't do it. All right. Yes, Bitcoin is cheap. It's only $60,000. Some people don't even have that. Some people barely have $6 to name. But please do not put all this money together to get a Bitcoin and have somebody send Bitcoin and then send it out, especially if you guys don't know what you're doing and don't know how to get the money back, because it's almost nearly impossible to even get the money back once you make a Bitcoin transaction. Now you can, but it's very, very hard. So Harvey said he wants some sort of proof, which is fine. So when you go back here, it says the anonymous sender refused to send a screenshot to TMZ because they claim the image's embedded metadata could expose their identity and lead to retaliation. Let me break this down for you guys. So this guy's saying that if he takes a screenshot or if he turns on the phone and takes a picture of it, with a second phone, say like this, that it's going to expose the metadata and pretty much expose him. Let me show you guys something real quick, all right? So for people that don't know, now, can you trace screenshot metadata, all right? The answer is yes, but to a certain degree. Let me explain. Right here, it says, yes, you can trace screenshot metadata, but it only contains information about the screenshot file itself, not the original content being captured. Meaning, guys, when you have your phone and you take a video with your phone, take a video with your phone, okay? And you get stored on your phone, even if it's in the cloud, whatever it is, Dropbox, however you use it. That metadata information is attached to that video. So it will show you what operating system was used. If it was Apple, iOS, Android, Windows, it will show you that. It will show you the date. It will show you the time and the original photo, okay, can also give you the location. Think about this, guys. When you take a photo on your phone right now, especially if you got a newer phone, take a photo on your phone. Some people's phones will automatically give them, hey, you want to tag this? Think about that. Do you want to tag your location? And it'll tell you Phoenix, Arizona. It knows you're in Phoenix, Arizona because your phone's metadata and GPS system. If you upload a photo to Instagram, it will ask you the same thing. Do you want to tag, the location of this photo? So to that degree, yes. So if the guy turned on the phone, all right, possible, but not really. If you took your phone, turned it on, but took another phone, took a screenshot, totally different. Because now what happens is the screenshot of that changes everything. It doesn't give you the original metadata. It doesn't give you the original time. Doesn't give you the original even operating system. It doesn't give you none of that. So what it does now is give you new metadata. Gives you new. So if this person had access to a burner phone, they can easily take a snapshot, or what some people of us will call a ghost phone, take a snapshot and then use that and then send it in, okay? So there is a yes to it and there's a no to it. It all depends on how smart and good an individual is. And by me seeing this individual's not that smart. Sorry, guys. I know some people want to look at him or them or whatever it is like geniuses, but no. When it comes to this, like I said, the more they talk, the more they expose themselves. Now, it says, when you take a screenshot, your operating system creates a brand new image file. This process creates new metadata from scratch and completely strips away the internal EXIF data like original camera settings or GPS data or whatever was on your screen. So once again, I told you, it strips away the original data. Now there is new data, okay? If you run a screenshot through an EXIF viewer like metadata to go, you can typically find, and this is what I told you guys before, the date and time. You can find what type of file it is, meaning if it's JPEG or PNG, and the size. You can also find the software, Android, iOS, Apple, Windows. You'll be able to find those things, okay, on the original data, not the screenshot. What you cannot trace on a screenshot, the original source data. If you screenshot a photo someone texts you, you cannot extract their original location or camera data. Okay? So, once again, I don't know how good this person is, how fraud they are, scamming. But once they opened their mouths and they said, well, we don't want to send you a screenshot because then our metadata is going to be released and we're fearful of retaliation. All right. Well, I can understand the retaliation part. Here's another thing. Fearful of retaliation. And I said this before. So if you have these photos, if you have them, and videos, how did you get the video? Where did this video come from? Where did these pictures come from? If you have a video of Nancy Guthrie with the so-called main kidnapper, and you know there is two, what inside information do you have to find this out? One, who sent you the videos? I highly doubt anybody sent you a video. You know why I highly doubt anybody sent you a video? This is a worldwide case. This is a national case. Criminal organizations or criminals who are good at what they do, whatever you want to call it, cartel, whatever you want to call it. And I broke this down in a previous video when it comes to the kingpin and the foot soldiers. The kingpin, the person way up here, is not going to have no trust for nobody. Now, the foot soldiers might be a little more lenient, things like that, and that's why they get off and terminate a whole lot easier. The kingpin, different story. So if you have a main person who decided we're going to take Nancy or kidnap Nancy, whatever it is, do you think they would risk sending a video and pictures and identity, addresses, wherever else you want to call it, to somebody else on a phone that could be traced, and especially if it's a phone that is not encrypted? Sorry, guys, it's not happening. I wouldn't do it. Anybody that I came into contact with during my time of being in the underworld wouldn't do it. Wouldn't. And the people who, oh, I'm going to do that, no longer living with us, guys. They're not here. They're in those killing fields probably in Mexico on the side of the border where they're trying to look for Nancy at. That's what happened to them. They're not doing that. It's not happening. So in other words, in order for you to get videos and pictures, you had to be there, meaning you are a part of it if this is true, meaning you are the third individual, meaning from the start, I said it had to be at least 2 to 3 people. I said no minimum than 2 and no more than 4. So 3 is right there in the middle. If this is correct, you're the third person. If it's correct. But I don't think you're telling the truth whatsoever, because why would they have you even video anything like that? First of all, why would your phone even be there? Your phone gives off Wi-Fi signals. Your phone is going to connect to cell phone towers. Your phone is going to give GPS data, meaning if you were really there with Nancy, your phone proves you were there with Nancy. Your phone has the signal that you were there with her.
So he says this. He says, I have a phone stashed in a secure location, guaranteeing both the information it stores and the safety of the phone. What it contains is my definition of delivering on a silver platter. So he's saying he has a phone with information. he goes on to say that he says that there is, quote, a short video of the main guy with Nancy the day that was probably her last. So he is saying that if he gets 1 Bitcoin, he will lead authorities to where this phone is. It is currently, he says, turned off, that it is in a secure location, but in a place that is easy to access once you know where to look. And he will supply the password, and he is asking for 1 Bitcoin.
Now, another thing they said was, they said the phone's in a secret location, but it's not easy, not hard to find, and the phone is turned off. They said they didn't want to turn on the phone because if it turned on the phone, it would expose the location of the phone. Now, I know a lot of you guys are going, oh, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. You turn the phone on, now you can trace the phone. Guys, let me tell you something. Even if the phone is off, the phone can still be traced, people. Turning your phone off does not mean the phone can't be traced. Even if the phone is off, it can be traced. First of all, for one, it's easily to see where the phone was turned off at. So if you turned the phone off at 19th and 22nd Street, and that's where you turned the phone off at, you can see the phone was turned off at 19th and 22nd Street. And if 19th and 22nd Street has cameras, well, who was there? And let's look. Ah, okay. Now let's follow them. They look a little suspicious. So I know you guys have seen movies before. And I know movies are fake, but this part of the movies, guys, is real. Any movie you've seen where it's espionage or spy or they don't want to get captured, what do they do with the phone? They don't just turn the phone off. They destroy it. They run the phone over. They smash it. They do whatever they can to make sure it's broken and the signal does not work. That's the same thing in real life. Whenever you were in the underworld, not you as in particular, but if anybody ever experienced an underworld and had to use ghost phones back in the day, all right? And I'm going to quickly explain to you a ghost phone, all right? Ghost phones work differently, but I'm going to explain to you how a ghost phone can work that you don't even realize this. Check this out. Let's say you go to AT&T. You go sign up for a new phone service, all right? Go to AT&T, sign up for a phone service. Now, if the person who's working at the AT&T stand, whatever it is a legit person, as in like they don't do no criminal activity and things like this, what they're going to do is they're going to run your name, your information, because you got to give that all to them, right? They do a credit check, do all that. Then what happens is they're going to let you know, hey, yep, you're approved for either this much down for the phone, or hey, would you like a second? Would you like a third line? The reason why they're asking you this question is because not everybody gets approved for a first and second, third line. Some people don't get approved at AT&T. Some people barely get approved for a second line or for a fifth. All right. But it will show them how many lines you get approved for. So if it's just you, let's say your wife or you, your kid, only need 2 lines. Then what they're going to do is say, here you go. Here's your 2 lines. Okay. But really you're approved for maybe, let's say 5 lines. Now, let's say the person working at the AT&T is not legit. Let's say they're scamming. Let's say they only work there to get information. They're only working there to get a payout on the side. This happens at businesses all the time. Drive-thrus like McDonald's, things like this, are notorious for this with your debit card. As in, you go to pay for your Big Mac #1, you give the person your debit card, they scan it, pay for it, and give it back to you. But some people don't know. Some people that work these drive-thrus take a picture of your debit card, or they have a debit card copier back there with them. Copy your card real quick, take a picture, and give it back to you. You don't even know. And the next, 2 weeks later, you look at your account and it was thousands of dollars withdrawn. You're like, how did that happen? They copied your card, okay? They just didn't tell you. And it all happened with an employee at McDonald's. Well, the same thing with these I'm not saying all, but what I'm saying is it happens. So You get approved for 4 or 5 lines. You walk off with 2. Now that person working knows you got 3 lines extra. So now what they're going to do is they're going to sell that line as a ghost phone, a ghost line to somebody. All right? This used to happen all the time. This was how a lot of ghost phones came about, with drug dealers and things like that. Now, a person buys the 3rd or 4th line, they got this line, the line does not go back to them at all. The line instead goes back to the original husband and wife who went and got their name ran and purchased the phone. Thank you. Hope you guys learned something just now. Now, when I first went on the run, I had to have a ghost phone, 2 or 3, okay? And you don't keep these phones for long. They're really like burner accounts because after a while, the real person catches on and they're like, oh, hold on, wait, what's this, you know? And the phone gets turned off, deactivated, whatever it is. Now, back in the day, the ghost phones used to last anywhere from 3 months to 6 months. Nowadays, you barely get 30 days out of it because of how technology is. But that's how it used to be back then. So every 3-6 months, you had to get a new ghost phone. Now, GPS on your phones, they still were there, but they weren't as good as they are now. But you still had to destroy the phone. It wasn't just turning it off. You gotta destroy the phone. Unless you just tossed it in the trash somewhere and you don't never plan on going back there again. Different story. So meaning, this phone that has the video on it, we know it's a newer phone. It's got video on the phone. So we know it's not a Nokia back from 2003 that only did text messages. We know that your phone is capable of doing videos and having photos, so we know your phone's a newer phone. Most likely your phone is a smartphone. So if you got a smartphone, even if the phone is turned off, the phone can still be traced. So whoever's sending these notes, obviously they don't know about this right here. A phone can be actively tracked while turned off, primarily through low power hardware networks that act like built-in tracking tags. Meaning your phone, your smartphone's got computer chip in it, right? But then it also has a GPS chip in it pretty much. And it just goes into low power. It's still on. It's just in very low power mode. Modern smartphones do not completely shut down when power off. Instead, they enter a ultra low power deep sleep state. Okay, the primary methods used to locate a powered down phone include modern mobile operation systems reserve a tiny amount of battery power, especially to run internal Bluetooth chips, even after the phone is switched off. Apple Find My, iPhone 11 newer models running iOS 15 or later broadcast encrypted Bluetooth low energy, which is BLE, which is funny. The same thing Nancy Guthrie's pacemaker went off. BLE. Nancy Guthrie's pacemaker also used Bluetooth low energy. Her pacemaker it was a battery inside of it, but the battery lasts a long time. And what it does is it's just in a low power state of mode, and it uses BLE to hook up to your cell phone. Nearby Apple device owned by strangers automatically detect this signal and securely upload the phone's location back to Apple servers. Now, what if you don't got an Apple? Google Find My device. Newer Android devices such as Google Pixel 8 and 9 series are specialized hardware to send out similar BLE beacons. If you have opted into networks surrounding Android devices, will privately relay your phone's location. Okay. Now, the only way this works is if the phone lacks the specialized hardware required for offline Bluetooth tracking. It can still be tracked hysterically rather than in real time. So unless this person has some sort of encrypted cell phone, military grade cell phone, FBI espionage grade cell phone, okay? But even if they had that cell phone, guys, those cell phones aren't supposed to be traced, meaning he can have it on and turned on. So obviously he doesn't have that type of cell phone. He's got some regular Android or some regular iPhone that was used to capture video, and now he's turned it off, thinking they can't track the phone while it's turned off. And this is why I say this guy does not know what he's talking about. And I understand there's a lot of people out there that don't understand, let's say, how the devices work. They don't understand how ghost phones work. They don't understand how tracking a phone works. I understand that. And that's why I'm here to teach you and tell you. So when people do things like this, you can realize, yeah, this guy knows what he's talking about. He's lying.
What's also interesting is that he is clearly has been keeping up on the news, is responding because we talked about it this week. But he says that these kidnappers are onto him, that he has basically been on the run from them. And he's very much concerned for his own safety at this point.
Now, I got a lot of questions on how they can't track this guy with the email, okay? I'm gonna show you exactly what he's probably doing. Now, I don't know exactly what he's doing, but I can give you kind of like the basic of it, okay? So right here, guys, you have Tor, T-O-R-E. If you look right here in the middle, you see here's an onion, okay? This is called onion browsing, pretty much. You guys heard of the deep dark web. You guys know about that, right? You've heard of the deep dark web. If you haven't, the dark web originally is, so the web that we're using, like Google, Chrome, Safari, is only maybe 8% of the, not even that, I think 3% of the total internet of web. That's it. Then you have the other side of the internet, which people will call the dark web. Then you have the deep dark web. It just goes on and on and on, okay? So besides using Chrome or using Safari to browse for things, you have other browsers that will bring you into the dark web. And on the dark web is the places where you can actually go in there and you can hire things like people like Hitman. You can get weapons. You can get fake ID. You can get whatever you want on a dark web. Now, I'm not going to suggest that you go out and do it. Please don't do that. This is for entertainment purposes only, okay? So don't do it. First of all, a lot of law enforcement is on the deep dark web and they watch over it, okay? Not only that, your IP address watches over the deep dark web. So as soon as you log on to it and you start searching for some stuff you ain't supposed to be searching for, your internet provider is going to flag it and they're going to watch you and then you're going to go to jail. So don't do it, all right? But this right here is called Tor, T-O-R. Like I said, it's part of onion browsing. Now, let me show you this. It goes, you're equipped to browse freely. Tor is the strongest tool for privacy and freedom online. It is free and open source software maintained by the Tor project and a community of volunteers worldwide. We need your help, and then you can donate to it, things like that. So you're like, all right, this is Tor. Now, Tor, like I said, is a way to go online, browse the deep dark web, but also browse it securely. Now, you don't just use this, okay? On top of this, before you go into Tor, because you have to download it, before you download and go into Tor, then what you're going to do is you are going to use a VPN blocker, meaning your VPN pretty much is like, you don't want your IP address exposed. Once your IP address is exposed, they can get the radius of location you're at. Now, if you get a VPN IP address blocker, what that's going to do is it's going to bounce your IP addresses to other places. So let's say you're in Texas, okay? Your VPN might show you're in Sweden. It might show you're in Germany. It might block every time you log in, it might come from somewhere different, all right? So now it shows you downloaded Tor from Germany, okay? Which is what a lot of people do. Now, I'm going to show you this right here. So I already have Tor downloaded, okay? Now, this is Tor. See this, guys? Explore privately. Then you have right here, Onionize, okay? Search using the Onion site. Onion is going to pretty much route it to all these different areas. So you already got your VP address routing you to Sweden. Now this is going to route you to different areas too. So let's just type in TMZ. So as you see, It's like using a regular browser. Now TMZ pops up. So let's click on TMZ. This is how they are sending the letters in. So it says, got a tip, email, or call. It tells you right there, email or call. So they're clicking got a tip. And after they click got a tip, what it's going to do is it's going to go to, you can send in an anonymous tip. Send TMZ a hot tip. Got a news tip? Have photos or video or breaking story? Be sure to include the following information: your name, phone number, email address, hometown, a short caption that describes what is happening in your video, audio, where it was taken. Please fill out this form. So then you just fill out this form. You can put any name you want to. Anything, John Doe. You can put any email address you want to, okay? We could put, let's say, we could put info@gmail.com. All right? You don't got to put a subject. You don't have to put a phone number. Then you could put testing. Then you can hit submit form, okay? It's submitting. Thank you. Your message has been sent to our team. You see what I just did? This is the exact same thing this person is doing. Now, these tip forums, okay? Some of these tip forums are designed to still capture your IP address. So even though you send a tip, let's say you just use Chrome and you make up some email address like I just did just now. You guys saw me made up email address. So it can still capture your IP address. So this is why, okay, I'm pretty sure this person is using a blocker, a VPN, and using a Tor Onion router. So it's hard for them to trace back to you. Now, one thing I want to show you right here. Do you know how you know this is working? Do you know how you know that I sent this anonymous and they probably don't know where it came from? That they probably don't have my real IP address? Look up there above TMZ. You see that? Do you see the writing? That's an ad. So wherever Tor Onion just sent me to use an IP address is coming out of the Middle East somewhere. It's coming out of the Middle East. So if they try to get the IP address, it's going to show the Middle East. You can tell by that ad. Now, Julia, just to talk to Julia, for you guys to follow me, you know she helps me do a lot of my research and my work. So she decided to look up, because on the internet, you can search topics. You can search what people have been searching for. We did it during the case with Monique Tepe, okay? The dentist who was killed in his home. We did it during then, and we discovered that the ex-husband of Monique was searching her home a couple times before Christmas. Come to find out, we were right. He was. So Julia's decided to look at, will a screenshot store your location for Meta? And what she found was, I'm going to show you guys here. So this is what came up. A person searching for, will a screenshot store your location for Meta? Well, first of all, who's just going to randomly want to search for that, right? There's not a lot of people who's going to randomly want to search for that. As you can see down here on the graph, look, nobody really has been searching for that. Will a screenshot store your location for Meta? But look on January 28th, 2026. It was searched over 100 times on January 28th, 2026. Today is the 29th. Didn't they get the response today, the 29th? Meaning they were researching that the day before. They were researching that Sunday. So obviously those people don't know exactly what they're doing or what they're talking about.
And so we put a social media post out because he seems to be watching all this stuff and said, look, we don't know if you're a fraudster or not. Give us something, a screen grab of Nancy Guthrie.
And this is how you know that he is watching all of this, because within an hour of that post going up on social media, he sent another email explaining that he is not going to do that. And the reason he's not going to do that, send a screen grab or take any photo, said, I don't want to go to the phone. If I turn it on and I take a photo, or there's metadata that comes along with that photo. If I give you a screen grab of the image that's actually on the phone, there's metadata that's involved there. So anything that I send you like that can be traced.
And you know where the searches were coming from? It shows you where they come from. All of those searches, over 100, yesterday on June 28th, came from out of Alaska. Alaska, people, is where it came from. So this is what came up. A person searching for will a screenshot store your location for Meta. Well, first of all, who's just going to randomly want to search for that, right? There's not a lot of people who's going to randomly want to search for that. As you can see down here on the graph, look, nobody really has been searching for that. Will a screenshot store your location for Meta? But look on January 28th, 2026. It was searched over 100 times on January 28th, 2026. Today is the 29th. Didn't they get the response today, the 29th? Meaning they were researching that the day before. They were researching that Sunday. So obviously those people don't know exactly what they're doing or what they're talking about. Now, because it's coming out of Alaska, does that mean they're in Alaska? Most likely not, because I just showed you how they can use an onion browser pretty much to go on TMZ website. And they've been doing this not just with TMZ, but most likely other news stations doing the same thing. And some of these submit anonymous tips still will capture your IP address. So I wonder if TMZ has the availability to capture an IP address. I would think they do. And the IP address, I'm wondering if it's coming out of Alaska. As in, these guys are using the Onion browser. The browser is redirecting the IP address to Alaska. And that's why they're searching and everything else comes from Alaska. But they really could be down the street. We don't know. Figure I'll let you guys know that. Guys, I'm going to let you know now. You can believe what you want to believe. What I'm going to believe is this guy's fake. This guy don't know what he's talking about. He's got to search things online. He is just trying to get some money out of somebody. He's trying to get a Bitcoin is what he's trying to do. Now, he might know how to distribute the Bitcoin to himself because I told you guys about that. So he might know that. Or he's going to get a Bitcoin. He's going to hold on to it until the Bitcoin reaches 200K probably or something like that. Okay. He's just going to hold on to it because as long as you hold on to the Bitcoin, it can't be traced. There's nothing nobody can do about it. It's when it gets released that somebody can know what they're doing or doesn't know what they're doing where you can get caught. I'm going to call this guy scam. He's faking. I don't believe him anymore. This guy, I know he's watching the internet. I know he's watching the web. And if you happen to be watching this, prove me wrong. My information's below. Go ahead. You could test me because I'm going to prove that you're fake. Because as soon as you email me, I'm going to find where you're at. So go ahead. Information's down below. All right. Go ahead. Because I already see you're talking way too much and you don't even know what you're talking about. So you guys let me know below. What do you think? And if you planned on getting some money together to put into a Bitcoin to send to this guy, you can do what you want, but I will suggest don't do it. All right. Now, I'm pretty sure FBI has established everything I've told you guys today. I hope they already have. And if they haven't established this, then you guys need to go ahead and give me and Julia a badge if you guys haven't established this already. But I'm hoping you guys have, and that's why you have not sent a Bitcoin to this person or gave this person any money. Now, let me be clear. This person allegedly, to my belief, is different, okay, than the person who sent out the first two ransom notes. But are they different? Or could it be the same person? Are they different, or can they be the same person? And if it is the same person, that means the ransom note is not real. If it's the same person. You guys, please take care of one another. Let me know below, what do you think about all this I just told you? Please comment where you're calling from, or watching from, things like that. Hey, if you learned something today out of anything, if you learned something, hopefully you have. And now you know how to keep yourself safer, safe from cyber attacks and whatever else you can do. Please join the membership below. It helps with the channel. I am trying to get to 30,000 subscribers by the end of the summer. The more subscribers I get, I can go full time, all right? Join the Facebook. We have a Fugitive TV Facebook. You can go in there, submit stories. You can go in there, do whatever. It's for, the Facebook is for you guys, okay? So that's what the Facebook is for. So go ahead, go like the Facebook, Fugitive TV, and go into the description box. You're going to find all kind of information down below, okay? Just to help support the channel. Now, until next time, take care of one another, love one another, all right? Look out your surroundings, watch your surroundings. Until next time, this is Fugitive TV, and I'm out.